Okay, welcome back, everybody. Uh, we are back, and we are back at the start of the new season, 2025 season, week one. We have already selected our goal for this year. That's to make the playoffs. We do have two storylines facing us right now, and basically, we got our notification for season start. We got our scouting report because we are opening against the Chiefs. Nice to start a season with a very rough game. So, yes, we no breaks. Jack Conklin is on the trade block. We are not interested in Jack Conklin right now, right? And reason being is that we don't have anybody to trade, so we're not going to trade for him. Nick Gates went down in the preseason. I ended up putting him on IR because I didn't want to just waste a roster spot until he got better. I didn't do my math and note that he would be better at the very first week of the season, and then I could probably had cut him and brought somebody else in at that point. But and then I be honest with you, I'm probably just gonna leave him on until I feel like just taking him off and cutting him. But I don't know for sure how many um people you can bring up off of the up off of IR. Excuse me there. All of a sudden, I sit down in his chair and I start yawning. Yep, there's that switch on the backside that once you sit down on it, all of a sudden you start to get sleepy. And then we have promised for this year that our top two wide receivers will have 75 catches. There's a slight problem with that, and we're about to talk about that. Okay, so we got two more storylines to discuss in a minute, right? We've already brought in our draft class, kind of built our board, right? But as we learned last season, the board isn't built the way it has been in the past couple iterations of Madden, right? We also have our scouts assigned. So, looking at our scouts, and this is our region breakdown. Yes, I know. Middle linebacker is a weakness nationally, and we have our scout for the national at corner, and corner is not a strength nationally, but it is still a position that I want to know more about. So I want the biggest bonus to go to corners. So when it's time to set the focus, I will be setting it to corner. And since it's national, that focus, that bonus amount, is going to go to all corners, not just one particular region. West, we have a choice in wide receiver or corner. Um, so we could boost our knowledge of corners in the West by selecting corner as our focus here. Central, defensive tackle is the strength. And hey, we can always use more defensive tackles, right? So, hey, let's boost our efficiency there, right? And then we got another boost in corner in the Northeast. And then, hey, you can always scout some quarterbacks, right? And so in the Southeast, we're going to have our boost in quarterbacks for our scouts. So that's how we're breaking it down. That's how we're going to look at it and go from there. Our board right now, here's our favorites. And remember, I got to do it this way because remember, the way they're added, once you get out of the top 50, then I have to go into each individual position and add from there. So it's going to be kind of wonky as far as the rank doesn't suit doesn't match up with their actual projection. So you can see we got a lot of tackles, a lot of defense, wide receivers. So you got the same old. Anyone in particular right now that you know interests me at all? No, because we have no actual details on them, right? So right now, honestly, how are they getting picked and chosen? Basically height, weight, height, weight, and by position, right? So I have an idea of the size I want my running backs to be, my offensive linemen to be, my defensive tackles to be, size that I want for linebacker and and corner and everything like that. Funny enough, and I don't think that they're going to be very that good because when we come down on the board, let's see, there is um, another corner. There's actually two or three corners that are 6'3". I think one's like 210, another 6'3", 210 corner. Doubt he'll be any good. I think he's down here, so he's undrafted material. But I just thought it was funny that all of a sudden we're seeing a lot of these really big, like this one right here, Woodard, Georgia Tech, 6'3", 200 pounds. Paul Black, 6'2", 209, 6'2", 202, 6'2", 210. Where's the other one? There's like two more. I can't remember their names, so it's like if I see it, it'll be more of kind of a spot recognition. And I mean, in all honesty, I could just nail down the actual. Okay, so we passed them. If they're on there, we've passed them already. And then I just thought it was interesting, and I said, okay, well, I'm gonna might as well scout them and and see exactly, you know, if we can strike lightning twice. I doubt it, in the sense that I don't think this this time around they would be like the one we found. Wow. Oh, maybe there's. Look at this. See, Cole McKenzie out of Missouri, 6'3", 290, 199. That's the one, Notre Dame, right? Doubt he'll be any good, right? But 6'3", 210. And then here's another one, Brian Preston, 6'3", 208, out of LSU. And then so they're all day three. So it's going to be very interesting, right? And why am I looking at that in particular, right? Yes. Chris Griffin, right? Because when we get done here, this is the next thing that we are looking at. So we come over here, go to roster, and then re-sign players. And I think we talked about this the last time I was talking. There's Micah. 4 years, 108 is what it says there. That is basically kind of like almost the bare minimum, and probably based on his interest, we might be able to get away with that. 108, 110, right? So technically that's 26 and a half a year. We could probably get him to sign for 5 years at 26 a year. That's 130 million, right? But that's 26 a year. Look at our cap room, 69. That would leave 42. And like I said, we've talked about this. We got Fergie at 11 a year. We got Deron Bland, and then that is kind of why we are talking about corners again, right? While we're kind of looking at the corners and kind of like thinking to ourselves, uh, we could possibly be needing a corner again because Deron Bland is looking for, 2.7, 2.8. I'm sorry, 2, 2.8, 12.8 um, per year. So 13 million a year is what he's looking for, right? 13 here, 11 there. That's 24. That's 24 out of 42 leaves, yes, 18. That would give us 18 to sign all our free, not all our free agents, but to sign our draft class and who else? Look at who else is available, who else is up for contracts this year, right? And then I'll go over, you see some names here, but look at this. Brandon Aubrey, if we want to keep him, he's looking for almost 6 million a year. Uh, Mozzie, his fifth year. And right now, at this point, I would probably say no to his fifth year option and then try to sign him outright. Whereas I think just going straight into a contract with him would be cheaper than the 17 million hit. But I don't know because right now I don't know what a starting 80 plus overall star defensive tackle what they're signing for right now. They may be signing as high as 20 million, right? I don't think so. I think in a contract situation, we might be able to sign him for like 12 or 13. So that would be a savings. But remember, we only have 18. So if we go, so if we're trying to, if we don't accept his contract, then we're just going to have to try to sign him next season outright, right? So he'll play for us for one more year, and then either we replace him or we take our chance at trying to re-sign him, extend him, right? 10 million a year here, seven, a little over 7 million a year here. We're not re-signing him, and then this one here, he wants 11 million, almost 12 a year, right? And right now he's our best linebacker. So you got a lot of people looking for a lot of money. And once again, we talked about this. Micah isn't performing the way we expect him to be performing and the way he's performed in just other previous iterations of Madden, right? He's not performing. And it's like, well, what's going on with this new version of Madden that's causing him to not perform, especially when he's superstar X Factor and he's got all the traits, everything. He's 99 overall. You know, there's no reason for him not to perform. Deron Bland, just I just don't know if I can afford 13 million for a corner, right? Jake Ferguson, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can afford 11 million for a tight end, right? I mean, granted, he is superstar though, and these three are all very interested in re-signing. Deron Bland is a little shaky there. Not sure why, but he's a little shaky there. And then you can see this guy. We got him in a trade in the off season. Not interested in re-signing either. If I could get somebody, if I could trade him, I'd trade him. But nobody wants him. Can't get any offers. Jalen Tolbert. If I'm going to sign him, I'm going to sign him right away because 7 million for what we're getting out of him. And then back to our thing. We are expecting 75 catches out of two of our receivers. I fully expect him to be one of them to get the 75 catches. Sam Williams, we're not re-signing. 10 million, that's a lot. No, right? So we do have to figure out how we're going to replace him. Andrew Booth, you're he's good depth, and if we can afford it, we might end up re-signing him, extending him. But he's not interested right now. Terrell Edmonds, we just picked him up, and more than likely, he's just depth. Bass. We will. I mean, come on now. We should want to resign him. He's good depth, and he's not overly expensive. This guy we just picked up, but yeah, we can't afford to keep him after this season. But right now, he's really good depth. And again, like I said, I need to move him from the injured reserve so I can cut him. He was just depth for the preseason. And then this guy. Mm. And then we have to figure out what we're going to do with our kicker. Do we want to spend that much on a kicker? $5 million a year. But he has won us some games. He has seriously won us some games. So I just want to look at him real quick. Clutch kicker, precision. That's right. I decided. Yes, there we go. Totally decided that we didn't need the arc as much as we needed to slow that thing down, because during the preseason and the first week, yeah, I missed 2 field goals and they were all both inside of 45 yards. So I'm like, no, let's slow this down. Okay, so looking at our roster, this is our roster. Do you see the injured flag right up there? Yes, he's out for the first 6 weeks of the season. Got injured in the third preseason game before I could get him out, and boom, we lost him for like 7 weeks. So yeah, he's out for the first maybe only just 5 weeks, right? So there you have it. So Trey Lance is our starter. Randy Peterson, we drafted him, and he could be the quarterback of the future. Look at that throwing power, 99. Trey Lance, 92. All right, so we got Deuce Vaughn still. Dixon, remember, we drafted him, and we are very pleased with him. We still have Elliott, but we have Elliott because we extended him, and I'm just not ready to eat that much, right? Because right now he can be, yes, we can still hold on to him. Lipke, again, CD will be out for the first 5 weeks. So we got Tolbert, we got Wilbin, and Morrison, Flournoy, Gibson, and Brooks. Not sure what all the boost is for, what's boosting him, but it could be my coach. Then we got tight ends. We got Fergie, Schoonmaker, and Sanders might move up above Schoonmaker. Got Guyton and Richards at tackle, Smith and Thomas at the left guard. Remember, he's on IR right now, but we need to get him off and out. And see, I can't do anything until I take him off of IR. Bass backing up Zach. And then even though Steele is Portillo might get the nod. I haven't decided yet. Really haven't decided yet. Because next season I can trade him. I can trade Steele. So Nealon and Odiembo will be our left ends. There was competition in the preseason, and Nealon did win out. So Nealon is our new replacement for Demarcus Lawrence. Parsons, Sam Williams, who could be um, expendable midway through the season, depends on how well Parsons doing. Parsons might be trade bait at the middle part of the season, especially if he's not doing well. And then Hope, right? We brought him in. He was playing left outside linebacker previously, and then we brought him in for serious depth on the defensive line. So we got him at right end, but he will also kick down into the three technique as the in nickel. So now our defensive line, defensive tackles. So we got the second year guy Briggs that we picked up off of waiver wire or what do you call it? Free agency. We still have Phillips. And then we got Osa and Mozzie, right? We've got Clark and then Griffin backing him up right now. We got McFadden. We picked up in free agency. And then also Hudson backing up Overshown. Bland could become expendable. Like right now, I'm trying to figure out who's playing in the slot. I don't know who's going to play in the slot right now, right? You got Trayvon, you got Bland. Bland kind of makes sense to move to the slot, but I'm thinking I might actually put Williams in the slot right now. Just let him, just say, hey, nope, you're going to play in the slot until we figure it out. He's got the best change of direction. Um, they're all pretty even agility wise, but he's got the best change of direction and acceleration. And then couple that with his speed, you know, um, that might be the move, right? And he's jumped ahead of Carson, right? Carson can also play in the slot. And then you see these, so it's like, well, does Bland become expendable like midway through the season if I decide not to sign him? So right there, we got two guys right now, three that midway through the season, depending on how they're playing or depending on how their counterparts are playing, become very expendable. And then not expendable is probably the wrong word. Very valuable, right? As far as, draft capital going forward, especially going into next season. And then we decided to move on from Hooker, who became very valuable as far as draft capital. Do we regret moving on? A little. I think he was holding down the center field position a little bit better than Melifano was doing, right? And then we got Bell and Edmonds. And if Melifonwu starts to just not show up, these two could take over in the back. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that is our team. And then we picked up Matariza, right? He was inexpensive. So and then at the time I was like, you know what? He's got a strong leg. That's all I need. Just boot the ball into the other end of the field. You know what I'm saying? So the hope is to not have to punt a lot. So there we have it. That's the team. All right, let's look at the first storyline message. The athletic trainer told me to ask you about what you want me to work on during camp. Now, first of all, we know Diggs We're gonna focus on injury prevention for you, bro. All right, good, smart choice. Look at that. Injury rating increased by 3. We need Diggs. We need him bad, and we need him to play like he can play. This is really annoying. That this it's the same ones, right? Just every time we go into something and come back out, it shows us new again. All right, this is the one that's scary. Because either we're promising to do something or we're gonna get ourselves in trouble with somebody. Going into the season, what area of the team is the strongest? Why do you keep asking me that? Uh, the area of the team that's the strongest, honestly, is our offense, which is not true, but our defense sucks, and I have a whole lot of reasons why it sucks. So if the offense is stronger, what we need to work on our run defense, right? It seems like I say that every season. Can you be more? Can you be more specific? The interior D line. We need our interior D line to be more consistent. We sure enough do, but and we're gonna just keep giving the same thing. Every year is the same thing, isn't it? Well, this is only year 2. It was the same as last year, right? And we hit it last year with bells on. I mean, we well overachieved that goal. So we'll see if we do it again. I don't know why I keep probably because of other playthroughs. Look, oh, now we got 5 new messages, which means we have one. And that is promise. You promised that your starting D tackles would have 10 TFLs. They better have 10 at least, and 50 tackles combined. At least. I'd like to see both of them get close to 50. And then here's the thing, my starting defensive tackles, you're probably counting 3: Mozzie, Osa, and then probably Briggs, right? And then so that's what I'm thinking. And then so at that point, I just need all 3 of them to have significant numbers, especially Mozzie. I mean, I'm hoping Mozzie will have 10 to 20 TFLs by the end of the season, which also means he's going to have more than half of the tackles that we need. So that's what we're hoping for. All right, season start, scouting report for the Chiefs, trade block right tackle, and back to full strength about Nick. I think they keeps doing that because I haven't done anything about Gates, but that's not a requirement. All right. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going into weekly strategy. Um, and then at first I was considering not taking you on board with this trip, but then I said, you know what? They can watch this one. This one will be fairly straightforward, and I won't make you guys watch this every single time we do this, but we can watch the first week. All right. God dang it. Okay. All right. It's so weird not seeing CD run down there. Oh my God, did I miss everything? Oh, that was awful. Maybe I shouldn't have taken you in here to watch this. Mm, yeah. No, what really sucks about that, whoa, is that I lose my multiplier. Mm-hmm. Oh, you see how it just went under that one? Mm, so close and yet so far away. All right, we're gonna come back to that one right now. We're gonna do this one. Wait, what was that? Whoop, whoop. Did you see him just clear out the way? He's like, I don't want any part of that. Oh, oh, get off me. Get off me. I was gonna say all I need to do is complete the rep, and I should get enough points to get the gold. Sometimes, man, you get hung up, and those barrels, those barrels are no joke. All right, Randy Peterson. Oh, too early. Too early. Are you serious? Could you not have lofted that, bro? Mm, mm. Seriously. Gosh. Mm. All right, we're not gonna get it. So gold, I mean, too early. Is he just like just running away from? Are you serious? Mm-hmm. There we go. The sad part is I was looking at that and I forgot what color I was, and then so when I saw Diggs keep going on the inside, I was like, why am I going inside? and and then for a minute it was like, oh wait, we're in the white jersey. All right. And this one's interesting because they added more time than what was last year. And granted, there's three instead of two defenders. It just seems they didn't make it any more complicated. If anything, it's way easier. So it's like these little things, these blocking dummies are more of an obstacle than the actual defenders at times. It's like it just depends. Now when you run up here, that's the only chat that's really the only time where it becomes kind of difficult. So it makes me wonder, is it just that you need like would faster linebackers do something? See, like right there. See? But I'm sure if I'd stayed to his inside my blocker, I probably could have just gone right up the middle on him. You see, like, I don't know what Bell's doing. He really does have the speed to beat me to the outside. I just don't know why he's not running full speed to try to stop me, to try to get outside on me. Like right here, see how he slowed down and then decided, well, I'm just gonna go a different angle. And it's like, okay. Again, I'm still on half pads split, so I haven't switched it back. So I don't expect any practice injuries on that setting. So let's see. All right, so we have a captain position that I haven't assigned yet. I just don't know who I'm going to give it to. So let's get in here, assign our goals for the week. Always get annoyed with myself when I forget to do that, and I forget to do it quite often. Holy cow, I don't know if you guys can hear this. My computer, my laptop, is just going insane right now. The fan on it is just, it's like, what are you doing? All right, so let's get in here. Not really looking forward to this game. I hate playing the Chiefs, and I really hate playing the Chiefs with our new um, quarterback
It's
room.
week 1 of the NFL, and we'll see a pair of teams who shared the city of Dallas in the early 60s. It's the Chiefs and the reigning Super Bowl champs on Thursday night primetime.
Did you see how they shaved? For some reason, there was a beard on him for a minute, and then they just, oh, let's get that off of there.
AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The wait is finally over. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis here on the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
Kansas City Chiefs, formerly known as the Dallas Texans.
Is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these
They
teams?
moved to Kansas City.
Excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
All right, let's get it. So, normal format, we're going to jump ahead, and we might be jumping in right away. 7-0 already. 7-7. 10-7. All right. It's a lot closer than I was expecting. Look at that. 14. Oh, shoot. That was a turnover that led to that last 7 points. I almost guarantee it. Didn't see what it was, but the Cowboys didn't move the ball very far. But it said 0 turnovers. So what was that? All right, good job, good job.
Great return.
What the heck?
Now as he'll go on offense first here in this.
Maybe it was a very good punt return or something.
Charles had a strong first half throwing the football, at least.
They had a strong first half throwing the football. And you know what? It's probably my fault because we're going to go in here and we're going to see I didn't set the line up
but that hasn't
properly. What's my running? Oh, wait. Before we do all that, let's check our stats. And I bet Deuce Vaughn is our starting back. So 11 first downs, 264 yards of total offense in the first half. They're not running the ball well, 1.3 yards per rush. But does that matter when they're throwing for 255 yards? Turnovers. There it is, 1 turnover. Okay, so there was a turnover. Scoring summary. Well, it was so quick because it was a 70-yard touchdown pass to Xavier Worthy. Oh, goodness gracious. Dixon with a 2-yard run. Player stats. 16 of 22. 2 touchdowns. 141.2 passer rating. Trey Lance. 87.5 passer rating. 1 touchdown. 1 interception. Dixon. I know let's get it out. Okay, let's just say it. 5 carries, 5 yards, 1 yard average. Only done worse by Pacheco with 5 carries for a negative 1 yards. What the frick is going on? Trey Lance, 3 carries, 17 yards, and Rico Dowdle, 3 carries for 12 yards. Mahomes has gotten loose twice, 1 time for a touchdown. God dang it. Mr. Tolbert, very well on his way to 75 receptions this year. I have no doubt that CD, once he's back, he will get his 75 in the remaining 12 games of the season once he comes back. 2 little guys, Xavier Worthy and Marquise Brown, are killing us. 30-yard average, but then we know 70 of that was on 1 play. Okay. All right. Um, we did get a sack. Probably the only sack of the game. All right. TFLs. We need TFLs. Parsons, not the one we need. Nealon, not the one we need. Clark, not the one we need. So the people that we needed to get TFLs did not get any, have not gotten any yet. Sacks. Of course, Mr. Jones, Chris Jones, is going to have a sack, right? It's only the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's only because our line just isn't going to block. Interceptions. Trent McDuffie. Wow. Oh, there's kick returns, not punts. Okay. All right, let's get in here then. Let's check our lineup. I don't recall who. Oh, so Dowdle is our starting back. Guess what we're doing? We're gonna alter that. Right? Why did he only have 3 carries? All right. Um, Tolbert. Yep, yep. Morrison. Who's our slot guy? And then there's Fergie. Yep, 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 yep. All right. Yeah, we're looking good there. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see. All right, so we'll leave that. And then Maze, Briggs, Jordan Phillips, Osa. Okay. And then, as a matter of fact, there's our big three right here. Who is in the slot for us? Oh, I hate that that it does that. I really do. All right. And the fact that I didn't fix that. Okay, so kick returns. I do want Deuce in there. This is fine. Why does this look weird to me? Oh, because I'm just going down the line. All right, wait. All right, boom. So, do I want to keep Tolbert in the slot? I don't think I do. And then we got to switch sides. Mr. Nealon, come on over here. Parsons, come on back over there. Mozzie, okay. And then Briggs is our backup guy. But that is who we're supposed to have. This is Mr. Holt. Okay. And then, yep. And then Bland is in the slot right now. We're switching it up a little bit. And this might actually end up hurting us. And then I want to kind of point some things out while we're watching the defense play and tell you some of what I think are some of the things that are making my original um, opinion of the game kind of slant more towards the negative than um, than instead of actually even I'm instead of me thinking better about it. All right, so let's get in here.
As they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus
Now,
was in the passing
first
game.
first things first, I want you to
Resulted in a healthy amount of
pay
turnovers. So I
attention
would think that at
to
halftime,
their
they're
defense
going to
and
anticipate that
really
defense loosening up a
kind of
little
like
bit during
look
quick
at
passing
how their
moves. They've
defense
got to get the running
performs
game going.
and
There's
how
some easy
they
gaps to run through now.
gang up and go to the
They'll
ball.
start this drive out on the
Now,
ground.
I say that, and then all of a sudden I run for 11 yards.
Take this all the way
That,
into
I think, is I'm exploiting something
to start the
that,
drive, 12
that
yards.
they're not picking up or something.
They'll keep it on the ground.
Right there. I cannot
They only managed to get a couple. Second and
get
8.
past their linebackers. Their linebackers swarm, and they're there, and they're on point just about every time. It's like I have to call a certain play
From a couple of
to
yards
get
beyond
any kind of
midfield.
opening
Here's second and 8.
to run the ball. Right? And their defensive line, their linemen, do not get moved off
Here's
the ball.
Lance to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third
That
down.
was not okay.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
Right.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Shotgun now for Lance. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets this one.
Nice.
15, just a yard or two.
That blitzer came up and opened that lane for me.
Gain 35 yards.
Normally that lane would not be there, but I saw that blitz and I was like, it's going to be there this time.
Here's Lance. Right back to Tolbert. Touchdown, Cowboys.
All right, so a lot of the stuff that I have to do in order for it to work, I don't want to call it gimmicky kind of stuff, but it's like you have to, like, right at the onside of the play, know which route is going to win and basically do everything you can to work it to that route, right? And then if you can almost tell right there if it's going to win, and if it's not, you're going to have to, do some hot routes to get to a winning route, right?
And you're just
It just,
all the way
because
around.
you do not have free runners most of the time unless you call a play that's going to specifically give you one, right? Now, again, my main thing, though, is on the
So after the touchdown,
run defense side of things. Pass defense, you can still get away. You can get around some of it, right? The key is you don't throw 50-50 balls. Your guy has to be open. If you're going to throw the ball, he has to be open. If he is not 100% open, it's either going to be an interception or a knockdown. Your guys do not catch the ball in traffic either. That's something I've just 9 times out of 10 they will not catch in traffic. Okay, now I want you to see the push the other offensive line gets on my defensive line in a run play, not pass. Pass, we can come there, and we got lucky there because Leofau was just in the way. His back was to the ball, so he got hit in the back, right? But luckily, that's where the quarterback throws the ball.
Throwing now is Mahomes. He's got his target. That's complete. Down the left sideline. Touchdown. Rashee Rice. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Chiefs are able to widen their advantage.
I want you to pay attention to the defenders. Okay, there's 2 defenders right there. There's no attempts except right there at the very end by the 3rd defender that comes in, right? But those 2 original defenders, they don't take any kind of angle. They don't take any kind of effort to get to, like, dive at the guy, do something. They're chasing the play, and they just, that's it. And it's constant that I've noticed that in pass defense, It's always that way. And it's irritating because you keep seeing it and you're like, there's guys. Now, Rasheed Rice is high caliber. He's not top tier, but he's up there, kind of receiver. But there's constantly guys running wide open in the secondary, as I'm sitting there watching the defense. And I'm like, why is there constantly, and it just seems like there's multiple guys. Now watch us. Let's see. Besides the underneath drag route by the tight end right here,
Yeah, you're exactly right.
let's see who else gets open. Now Tolbert, if we get lucky, he might get open deep.
And that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
But you see right here, that ball had a very small area to drop in before that safety would have been there. And if that ball was thrown just like a second later or 2 yards deeper, that safety would have picked it off. And it wouldn't have been just a knockout. It would have been he would have picked it off. So in order for me to run, I have to set it up like this. And then again, yeah, there's all kinds of adjustments and things like that. But
on first down, we'll take this to the
but they don't hold the blocks. There's no lane. You know what I'm saying? I have to try. Basically, it feels like you're running to darkness almost every play, unless you can get it. It almost has to be the right play call in situation. All right, Chris Jones right here. He's up on my. So he looks like he's the down nose tackle, which makes no sense. But guess what?
They'll keep it on the ground. Dixon. Oh, that one well.
Luckily, I doubled. Oh God, hitting that spike thing. So I doubled down. I doubled. What do you call it? So yeah, granted, yeah, you have to come up and you have to make the adjustments and you have to make me do the certain things, and it's like, a constant tweaking of the gameplay settings, and then
a short one there taken in by Ferguson.
So yeah, right now, most of the things that have irked me that I've been watching, we're not seeing right now, which is good. And then maybe what I need is for my defense to play better. But I'm sitting there like, well, I can try to play defense myself, right? And then I'm like, will that make a difference?
They'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
Nice. I didn't think he was going to get through there.
Touchdown. A great effort there.
But then again, we are talking about, I want the game to be 56-0. Right? So the fact that I'm down 31-27, or 28 now, isn't the way I like the games to go. But we just saw that Rasheed Rice touchdown that just is hard to take. You know what I mean? Because he shouldn't be running open like that. And then, now, granted, I did cut Hooker, and maybe Hooker would have did better on that play than Melifonwu did. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I degraded my defense right there, and then all of a sudden they can't play or anything.
Touchdown as they nurse this small lead and past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And then we come up, we try to make the tackle, and they can't. My guys, well, I want to say that they get tackled and they get put down right where they get tackled, but we did just run through tackles to get into the end zone. There you go, Mr. Bland.
Turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. In motion, right, one of the tight ends. Looking to throw is Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground.
Okay, now, so two arguments can be made here. One is, well, it's Kelsey. Kelsey's going to be open all the time. But I had two linebackers. Look at them. They're just bumping into each other right in the middle of the field, not going anywhere, not covering anybody.
Close enough to stop him.
Right, because they were sitting there dancing with each other in the middle of the field. Why is that?
Now here's 1st and 10 at the 27. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And that's going to be
Nice. Come on, Mr. Bland, start doing something. It'd be nice if he would hold on to one of these passes, but he didn't just have 9 interceptions the previous year, did he? Well, actually, last year, being last season, he only had 3. And this is one of the reasons why I really like Leofow, because 7 out of the 10 tackles he makes, he actually tackles the individual and stops him. The other 3, he does that one animation with the shoulder throw. And I just don't understand it. I don't know why they came up with that animation. That animation, is it just so they could have an animation that they can easily break tackles with?
Now here's Mahomes. Complete the tight end Kelsey. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up.
1st and goal.
Made at the 3-yard line.
So basically, right now, our defense just can't prevent them from driving down the field.
Pacheco. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the
All right, well, guess what? We're going to see if I can put my money where my mouth is. What do they got? 1, 3 receivers set.
To abandon the running game, I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Mahomes. That is touchdown, Kansas City.
I don't know what you do there, because I told the defenders to come up and press, but a defender did not come up and press this guy. This is the 3rd time he's in the end zone. Why would he not have a defender come up and press him?
Even more so
it is
lead, right? Because
baffling.
You have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Strong running at the 30. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
It is kind of interesting, the returning kicks in this new format. Let's do this again. We're just going to see.
The defensive coordinator really scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not in a pretty
Now, Mr. Kowalski was blocked, and then he wasn't. And somehow he beat me to the edge.
Right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But get a couple of first downs, run some plays.
We're trying, bro. We're trying. But our linemen can't open up any holes.
After they just gave up a score.
Throwing now is Lance. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. It's caught inside the 20.
Seriously, guy. That was weird, because I'm not sure how he caught that.
A big play here for Dallas. 48 yards.
That was crazy. And then he didn't keep running because I didn't know that was a catch.
Here for 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Dixon. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there.
All right, we might be
Another
hitting
nice run
Morrison
by
here.
him.
The Lance going to throw. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys have cut it back within a score. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is
So
one that you don't spike,
the
right?
key
This is one
here
you don't tell your
is
teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on. And as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
Just a
which one
4-play
to keep
drive that time.
right.
Culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Well, now how about this return?
How about
Return there
somebody
all the way
tackling?
across the 40. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed
Maybe
back
out to the
onto the
40,
field.
man.
And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return.
All right.
One first down, you're almost in field goal position.
the Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10.
See that? Look at that.
And good vision there as he's across midfield.
Could not
and down
get
at the 45
any
yard
penetration
line.
there. As a matter of fact, got moved right off of the ball.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
And free runner in the end zone.
Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's
That
gonna
was not
sit
even a
down.
juke. It
He's
just,
gonna
my
go
guy
out of bounds, but he takes
overran
this
the
one down
play.
just shy of the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme,
He is trying to
design,
figure out.
execution.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rice. And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
I was like, what am I doing? I wasn't going to catch him. Is that number 5 or number 4?
Chiefs get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So that one his 4th touchdown.
4th
catch of the
touchdown.
game, one behind the all-time record of 5.
All right. Well, we just proved that it won't matter whether I decide to play or not. So I'm going to go back to my standard format that I like.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
This is like a track meet.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
All right, let's see.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score.
Well, that's all we were trying to do. Just
but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if
seriously
is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after
it's hard to complain because it's Jones.
Don't you think?
But watching Jones just cast aside Martin like that, granted, we saw that happen in a game not too long ago, a couple years ago, where Jones just had his way. Did you just not see Tolbert run right by the defender?
Of quarter number 3.
It's like, get in his way at least.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw, it's Lance. Incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So they're forced to punt.
I've already
this one's away. A big kick
basically given up the game.
Yards, and it's Chiefs football. First
the
and
game
10.
here. We're just because right now we're not stopping them.
Kansas City.
I tried.
Well, there are
I
two
can't.
scores on the plus side. Still
They're
tied
not
here in this
stopping them.
fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing
Micah's
keep away.
ineffective off the
I think
edge.
here's the situation. You're
Right
not
up the
thinking
middle.
touchdowns anymore.
Right
You're just
up
thinking
the
first
middle.
downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away,
It just
first
isn't.
downs, they can't touch the ball.
So now when I'm sitting here, and then again, it's like, okay, if I was actually trying to make the stops and just was failing, then yeah, that's one thing. But I'm watching, right? So the defenders, it should be 50-50, right? Mono and mono, 50-50. You know, settings, sliders, none of that should make any difference. And it just doesn't seem that way. Now, what I have to do is put it to the test, right? It's like I have to use a different team and see if there's if it's the same issue. It feels like now, granted, it is Mahomes, so this quarterback should have laser accuracy, no matter what I put the settings to, right? Right? Or is there a setting I could put it on which would affect his accuracy? But
Here's third and a few inches.
it's, I don't know. It's just, again, you know, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just angry right now because my team is playing so pitifully. And when I say pitifully, I'm talking about the defense. You've given up 45 points, and we're just now, you know, in the beginning of the fourth. And they're moving down to, they're going to score at least a field goal here unless we somehow turn them over. And that doesn't look like that's going to happen.
The way that they passed it with such success,
Yeah.
maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom.
You can run it too. He was running right up the middle there. We weren't stopping that either.
But you're exactly right.
See, and right now they're keeping us in nickel, so
And trusting this
Osa
I
isn't
think you continue to do so.
doing anything in the run game.
Here, 5 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
But then Mozzie's not doing anything either.
Back to throw again.
And then, look, just running free.
Quite get there. Tackled down.
Born free. Well, we're running free. Free like the wind. Or free as the wind.
They'll run here with Pacheco. And he'll fight forward maybe.
Now, we just saw Jordan Phillips, right? Hit Pacheco. Pacheco bounce off and keep on going. Where was the wrap up? Why aren't you tackling him instead of just bumping him?
He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Now, the thing is, we constantly see this from Mahomes anyway. So it's not something I can say, well, that shouldn't have happened.
Closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend
They sure are.
Butker now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
Mm-hmm.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
This is ugly.
Up with the Chiefs hitting
Ugly. You see how, now, right there, they hit you and they tackle and they take you to the ground.
And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their.
And this is, a lot of this is just born out of the frustration of seeing so many, I'm just going to bump you and then watch you bounce off and continue going, you know, type of tackles.
Lance looking to throw it.
Intercept. Oh, I thought it was intercepted.
The free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's
our free safeties don't do that.
And Lance now to throw. And that is.
And look how far off of the target he is. I mean, granted, again, we are talking about two different, seriously different quarterbacks.
To crowd the throwing lanes.
From the gun on third.
But even
over the middle, complete. That's Morrison. And he's taken down right at the
Seriously, I thought that was going into dirt because the defender was in there so quick.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big
He
plays.
just, I don't know how he
They
got it
control
there.
this
He
game
muscled it
throughout,
far
and all
enough.
they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Dixon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 69 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Just
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll take
a chance to keep it from looking, well, not, yeah, so that we're not completely blown out, right? So it looks more like a track meet rather than a blowout. But we know the truth.
Score game here in the 4th.
Because we're not going to stop them from going down and scoring. We have not stopped them on one single drive this half.
And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
486 yards, 6 touchdowns.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. If they can score here, they have a chance.
That is a terrible 2-game total for defense to give up, let alone just one game.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 2. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And
it's a first down.
Near the 40 to the 39. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
Extremely shaky start to the year.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Going to throw right side in.
Mahomes doesn't throw off target.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker.
But it is
8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They go play fake. Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
A drop. A drop. That pass was bullet right on target. So somehow they managed to knock that out.
Not that time. They'll try for the first with the
Okay. It's a tackle, and I like that. I hate the animation because too many times do I see that and then see the runner just bounce off and go in a different direction. And it's like, why didn't he wrap up? Why didn't you wrap up? You had the tackle. And so there's, how many times have I had to sit there and then go think to myself, why didn't you wrap up? Just wrap up. And that gets old and frustrating after a while. All right, let's see what we got.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores.
Dude, yes, we are trying to make it closer, but no one is under the misconception or is thinking this is our chance.
He's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Chris Jones now with his.
No one is thinking this is our chance.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
My guy didn't even go for it.
ball game now.
He's got the height and size advantage.
Got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that.
I am not putting the ball in the air. What are you talking about? How do I do this? So obviously, it's on me. I picked the wrong players. Because any one of the Chiefs' defensive players would have done a better job than my defensive players. Any one of my defensive players did all game. Even Micah Parsons.
Well, partner, the season officially underway.
But do you see, like right now, he had no impact on this game. None. And
yeah, I think it makes it special, right?
I don't know what that is.
It's just watching.
Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. It's like, how does a player like that not have any impact on the game whatsoever? And it's like, well, am I playing the wrong defense for him? Which it could be. But that means, well, then the other defensive ends on my team are not 3-4 rush in stand-up linebackers.
Meanwhile, for Dallas, they obviously fall to 0-1.
So they don't fit this. They wouldn't fit a 3-4 scheme. And currently in Madden, this iteration of Madden, because in 24, like I said, Micah impacted every game he was in, and there was nothing but impact, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't matter who you were playing. Him screaming off the edge was a problem for the other team. In the game today, right? He was not an issue. He did have one sack in when I was simming, but when we were actually just watching, he was non-factor. And almost to the point where it's like, well, is he a liability? And that's what brings me back to the serious discussion about, or the decision that needs to be made. Oh my God, seriously, guy? You weren't even, were you starting? I don't remember if you were starting. I don't remember starting you. I don't remember not starting you, but I don't remember starting you. You might have been starting from the preseason. 6 weeks. God dang it. So, again, you have Micah, who just really was an absolute non-factor in this game. And that hurts. That hurts right there.